Let me look at the camera. Hi, I'm Alex,
And I'm Tim.
and this is Twinfluenced, our podcast with hot takes and unfiltered thoughts about everything pop culture and current.
Join us every Tuesday.
And get Twinfluenced. All right, thank you everybody for tuning in. This is Twinfluenced. We have a lot to get to today in today's show. So let's get started. But first, I want to shout out Leslie from Hobart. Thanks for being a fan. Thanks for listening. Oh, and it was Memorial Day weekend. So we hope you all had a great Memorial Day weekend. And hopefully you got to enjoy this. We just want to say we remember our fallen heroes.
Who remembers? Hashtag who remembers.
Hashtag never forget. Hashtag let's get started. Timmy, what do you got first for us today?
I want to start with the new Lilo and Stitch movie. The new live action Lilo and Stitch movie came out over the weekend. And they changed a lot from the animated one. And I know you're probably thinking, who the hell cares? Well, I do.
I care a lot. Lilo and Stitch is one of my favorite movies.
I actually don't really care for the movie that much, but I do remember watching it a lot. So I heard that they changed the ending. Do you want me to spoil it for you?
Yeah.
Okay, spoiler alert. I heard that rather than at the end Lilo and Nani, they get to stay together
They get to stay in their home and they keep Stitch, and the galactic people are like, yeah, we'll just like imprison him on Earth. That'll be his sentence. That was instead of being, because he was like sentenced to death, and then they decided like exile on Earth can be his sentence. It was the loophole to let him stay.
The loophole was because she bought him, so he was her property, and stealing was against their code. That was the loophole, actually.
Whatever.
Anyway.
But that was a rationale behind it. Shout out people who know.
Okay, anyway. And then, and the live action, what happens is Nani gives Lilo to foster care so that she could go to college. What are your thoughts on that before we dive further into the changes?
My thoughts on that are Ohana. Ohana means family. Family means no one left behind. They just erased that entire. That's the whole point of the movie. They just erased that entire meaning of the movie.
Exactly. And I think that this is the problem with Disney live actions is like they're either do it where it's just like an exact copy or paste, or then they change it, but they change it for the worse.
That was, yeah. I can't even believe the whole point of the movie is they don't want her to be taken by the state. That's why they're doing all these runarounds and they're avoiding, like they're trying to impress Mr. Bubbles. Because they don't want her to be like, actually, I need to put myself first. I'm gonna put me first. That's not the character. That's not the premise of the movie.
Well, yeah, and then I was reading a bunch of people who are upset because I don't know what your opinions on this will be, but the whole point of like the first movie, not like the whole point, but like in the background, you see like the effects, like there are two like native Hawaiians, and then like everyone around them is like all these tourists, and then like these white families moving in, and she's being bullied by a white girl, and then. So basically, the premise of the movie was like them sticking together and sticking to like their traditions. And now it's like in the live action, it's like the white colonialism wins and this family is separated.
That feels like a beyond stretch.
No, I don't think it's stretch at all. Because that's what the whole MO is displace indigenous families.
Well, I don't like that
World.
message.
I don't like that message either. I hate it actually.
I hate it. I have a review from a.
Okay, fine, read your review, but I'm not done talking about it.
Well, this is just this is part of the conversation. I have a review from a Lilo and Stitch #1 fan fanatic who said, I asked how was the movie because she had just went and saw it. Honestly, not the best. I did like Stitch in it, but they changed a lot from the original movie. And that's just so disappointing for me to hear because I just can't. This is Lilo and Stitch is part of my bloodline. I love that movie. I love Stitch.
Okay, you wanna know what else they changed?
Yeah.
So you know Jumba?
Mm-hmm.
He is the villain of the movie. They got rid of the shark guy.
They got
Yeah, he's the bad guy. And so he and Pleaky, and poor Pleaky isn't in drag in the movie.
outrageous.
No, literally. You could make Lilo go to foster care. You could make Jumba the villain. No, cannot take away Pleaky's drag. Use Ohana. We are.
No, you can't do any of that. You cannot change the structure of the film, and you cannot change the story plot. You cannot send Lilo. So how does Lilo and Stitch stick together if she's sent to foster care?
I don't know. I didn't watch the movie.
Sounds like no one should. That's horrible. That's depressing.
So if you saw the new Lilo and Stitch movie, please let us know your thoughts.
Email us, twins@twinfluence.net. Let us know your thoughts on the movie. Did you see it? Are you gonna see it? Why? Why not? What'd you think of it? So, thank you for that, Timmy. Or maybe not thank you, because that's kind of really disappointing to hear. We're gonna move on now to our next topic, which is last Sunday, I believe, the 20th. Last week, the Chicago Sun-Times last week posted a list of must-read books for the summer, except this list had real authors but fake books. Here to comment, Timmy Miller.
So there's a lot to that I could say about. I think that this is another reason why AI should
Now
not
you're making it to AI.
because that's what they did. They used AI.
Yeah, oh yeah. So they used what ended up happening was the Chicago Sun-Times generated this list of must-read books over the summer by AI, and the AI made up the
Yeah.
list.
It was 15 book titles. Only 5 of them were real books. They are all real authors, but they made up book titles and assigned them to like existing authors.
So my thing is, what the fuck? Who the fuck are you, Chicago Sun-Times? You're putting this list together. You're saying these are the books you must read. You're not even taking the time to actually. That's how much you respect your audience to not actually vet the books you're recommending. You're just slapping a list and saying, "Here you go, shitters. This is your fuck list of fake books."
Well, that's
fuck you. That's their reputation, the Chicago Sun-Times. That's why they have no readers. That's why no one is paying attention to them.
well, it's just
They
like
have no reputation, they have no credibility.
you don't fact check your own goddamn story, and you hired a freelancer, and then you don't vet the freelancer. Why can't the like they just? It's crazy to me that they can't just research popular books to read over the summer. But
They don't have a fucking intern there that could take 5 minutes to put a list together. It's not a big, like, ask.
no, it's not.
It's a joke of an organization. It's a joke of a paper.
But it also shows the downfalls of using AI all the time instead of just
No.
doing your own research,
But this is
using your own.
everybody knows that AI hallucinates, so it's just the downfall of really the written press. That's what this is the downfall of who they're hiring.
Everything is AI now. This is AI. We're not real.
Yeah, but say if I'm on ChatGPT and I'm looking up the law, looking up a case, I know there's an 80% chance it's gonna give me a fake case. So when I get a case, I then am plugging it into a search algorithm browser or whatever to make sure a case is gonna pop up. Once that case pops up, then I read the case to make sure it's telling me what chat. So it's all about due diligence. It's not about not using AI. It's about doing your due diligence after you use AI.
But it's about the overuse of AI.
No, it's about the laziness.
That's all. It's lazy people use AI. That's
Poorly. Smart people use it effectively as a tool.
I think it can be used as a tool, but I think that a lot of people use it incorrectly, as shown from the Sun Times.
And that's on them. And that's on how they're vetting their people. But I don't think that's a reflection on AI.
I think it's a reflection on AI. I think it's a reflection on the Sun Times' incompetence, cutting
I agree with that.
editors and journalists only to hire a freelance writer who uses an AI generated list with titles that aren't real and they don't look up to see if the book actually exists, probably because they can't read.
And the thing about the Chicago Sun-Times is they're losing money. They're bleeding money. They can't afford to function much longer. On that note, we would like to, speaking of books, plug in our reminder that Twinfluence last week has announced the Twinfluence presents the Twinfluence Book Club. Our first book we're featuring is Master of Me, written by Kiki Palmer. We will be reviewing the book, doing the book club meeting June 10th. That's 2 weeks from today. So if you haven't gotten the book yet, if you don't haven't read it yet, please read it. If you don't want to read it, just tune into the episode and hear us go through the book. All right. Now that I'm in my influencer era, I'm seeing a lot of other people like posting about their influencer eras. Among these people are social media managers at companies, kind of like talking about the struggles of whatever post getting, I don't know, 2 likes on a post. I don't really care. But my takeaway is these women, it's always women.
No, no, not from my experience.
Whatever. These Gen Zers,
It's always either women or gay men.
okay, that's the same thing.
No, it's not.
They're always posting or no, what do I say? These people are getting paid full-time salaries
Not necessarily.
to do this. So what's your reaction to that?
To what?
What's your reaction that this is a full-time job people have?
I
Like,
want that.
their full-time job is like logging in on McDonald's and posting, logging into Wendy's.
I want that job. I want to do that for real. I'm being dead ass.
So why don't you do it?
I don't have experience, so I started a podcast.
Start start a podcast for the experience to learn the skills necessary.
Yeah, I want to be the social media manager for a company or a library.
Counts of like your library and
Yeah,
like
tell a
really
story.
blow it up. Yeah, tell a story.
This is a personal story.
Move on.
It's a great idea. It's not interesting.
It's not interesting. All right. So that's all I had to say.
I thought sometimes I want to do it, and I'm jealous of them.
I think my hatred for them comes from a point of jealousy as well.
Wonderful. So speaking of social media, if you're still on Twitter or X, but I don't call it X, I call it Twitter. I've noticed that the algorithm has changed a lot, not just from when it became X, but from just like in recent, like in the past week or so. I feel like I'm getting a lot of content I don't normally get, and it's stuff I don't necessarily agree with. Hey, Or it's like people have takes and it's like, I don't want this. I actually do regret this. And I just think that it's changed a lot in bad ways and it's not fun anymore.
So I think the thing about it is like I don't like when I follow people on Twitter, I just that's all I want to see. I don't want to see like someone I'm following on like because now they're like trying to be like TikTok with like a for you page separate from the following, and it's like but unlike TikTok, I hate the for you page on Twitter, and I always have to like swipe back to just the following page because otherwise I'm like, this isn't right. I don't want to see like these because they don't know what's for me. They try to give me content that I don't like, and that's never happened before Elon took over.
Um, so I need to make a backtrack from the last episode. In our love it or hate it, I said that I hate the TikTok photos. I love them now. I think that at first people were just using it really weird and it was like really unsettling. But now people are doing it in like very memey
It works.
way.
It works.
Yeah, it works.
I uh 10 toes down agree. I love them now. They really especially if it's like the first comment is like a really good throw like a mean callback, throwback, whatever of like that's 100% applicable to what to like not just what the TikTok's about, but to how I just reacted to the TikTok as I watched it, and then I opened up the comments and there's a photo that
Right.
purposely is depicting my reaction to it. That's beautiful.
Well, that's the one you sent me, and we don't need to talk about it out loud, but that literally killed me.
Let Same. Okay.
Okay. And now I want to pivot
Mhm.
back into another topic we talked about before, but I'm not backtracking. I'm doubling down. And that is Katy Perry hate. Uh, I think that okay, so recently she once again performed Thinking of You, which is actually a pretty good
So is
song.
yeah, we listened. When did we do this? We just listened to it like 2 days ago. Yeah. And we were just really jamming to it because it really, when you it takes you back to when she was truly good.
Right. And so she actually performed the song in full at her um concert, her performance. Uh, but then and there was another clip of her. I guess a bit that she does in her concert is she'll like point out someone in the audience and be like, "Stop
Stop,
DMing my
stop
husband."
talking to my man. And then it's like,
It's really cringe.
he's mine, I'm his. And then they start singing the song.
Yeah.
But like, someone clipped that and took it out of context as if she was like bullying this woman. But you could tell based on everyone's cheering as she's doing this. So it's really, and like, you've had to have heard the song on TikTok. I've heard clips of the song on TikTok. So it's like, it's a song. Based on the fans' reactions that like they're getting ready to sing the song. That was my little, I don't like it when things are taken out of context like that.
Yeah. It was just like at first I thought it was real. And I was like, "Oh, this is crazy." And but then like the longer you watch it, the more you're like, "Okay," cuz the person getting called out doesn't look offended. They look like they're in on it.
But
You know what I mean?
yeah, because they are on it, because they know the song, because they're at the concert, so they actually know her songs.
Yeah.
Is that what you had to say about that?
There was something else I was going to say. Oh, I think it's really cringe that she does that. But that's just me.
It's kind of no. I actually don't think it's that cringe. It's kind of like the Sabrina Carpenter "Hot Police."
I think she's really cringe too. I know she's really cringe. I love Sabrina Carpenter. I think she's really like cute and funny. Like really,
No,
I think she's really cringe.
no. She's not. You're cringe. Look at you. Look what you're wearing right now. You're saying Sabrina Carpenter's cringe? You're dressed you're dressed like a rug, like a boring background rug.
You heard it here first. Uh, um, and then I wanted to
Yeah.
pivot into Megan Trainor. And I'm just gonna use her as an example. I'm not like a Megan Trainor hater. I'm not a fan of her at all, but I'm not like a hater.
I hate her.
I do think she's annoying on social media.
And you know who your friends are?
Oh, right. She's friends with Chris Olsen.
You're right.
For those who don't know, he's an annoying TikTok influencer.
He's also, people say he's a horrible person,
Yeah.
an asshole, and I could tell you that 10 miles away.
I saw a TikTok that was like, oh, people hate him because it's like, they're like, oh, that hate him because me.
Yeah.
And it's like, that should be me.
Is me. No, people hate him because he's unbearable, because he thinks he's something he's not. Well, he's not real. Everything he does is so manufactured and fake. He's
Right.
not a real person.
Well, he like rose to fame. He always follows the curtails of like whatever relationship he's in. I remember his Alfredson one, and he used another one.
Yeah, the other guy was way better.
Yeah, when they broke,
And he's doing great.
another one, and
Me too. Yeah, I still see his. I blocked Chris. I do not see him.
me too.
And if he's on someone else's account blocked, I can't stand him.
But anyway, she changed the lyrics to her.
She being Megan Trainor. We're back to Megan Trainor.
Oh yeah, we're back to Megan Trainor. She changed the lyrics of her song, and all about that bass. I think she originally said,
Well, she's also like on tour or something.
yeah, and she's originally says like, oh, it ain't no, what is it? I'm not no size 2 or something like.
Yeah, like the size. She'll never be a size, or
Yeah,
we probably should have looked it up.
probably, but like we would have had to listen to the song too. And I feel like she could have just easily kept the lyric in, and
It's because she has an Ozempic body now, and she is a size 2.
well, exactly, I know. Well, that's the thing with them is
That's the
well,
thing.
first of all,
is
she was never fat. She was just curvy.
She was chunky.
I mean, yeah, but like not in a bad way.
She was just a little chunky. That was her, but that was her MO. That was her like, that was like, she doesn't care that she's a little chunky, and she was gonna rock it with style, and she's gonna make all these songs about how I'm chunky, but all these boys still want me, and
Right. Like
I'm a big catch, and um, no pun intended. And so like,
oh my god.
but that was her MO. And now that she got this miracle drug where she just takes the drug and loses the weight without actually putting any work into it, it's like,
That's what I need.
that's what I need to. But it's like, now actually, I don't need it because I've done it. I did the real work.
Doesn't look it. But I just want to call it back to
Celebrities just switch up. The point I wanted to make was, celebrities just switch up after they take Ozempic, and it's like, it's
do.
fake. Have some humility if you're gonna do it. But they don't.
I think
they're
just
so
if you're gonna do it,
narcissistic
just
that-
be honest about
but
it.
just so narcissistic that they can't have humility. They can't be honest about it. They're always the best, no matter what their form is, what their body shape is the socially acceptable body shape of the moment. So when they're fat, you have to accept them for being fat. But now that
you should.
but now that they're thin, they're like, fuck fat people.
Oh, exactly.
And that's not
Well,
right.
that's the problem. And I think that is really like a lot of celebrities and influencers do that. And I'm not gonna name names. My names. Lizzo. Lizzo hasn't changed.
She's not even body positive anymore.
I know she's body negative.
Body neutral.
Oh wait, you're body negative.
Yeah.
She's body neutral. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being body neutral, but I just think it is convenient that she lost weight and now she's body neutral instead of being body positive.
Yeah, funny timing on that one.
What the point I was trying to make was like when you change a lyric, and this kind of goes back with the Lilo and Stitch live action. When you change a lyric in a song that's old, you're erasing the history of that song and you're erasing the context of that song. It's like when Taylor Swift cut out Tell Them You're Gay in her Picture to Burn song. Or she changed her You're gay, you're gay, you're gay.
You know that TikTok?
No, I don't know the TikTok. Or like she cut out the she's better known on the what she does on the mattress. And she replaced that with like the moth and the flames. She was holding the matches. It just didn't make sense.
So here's my thought.
And I just feel like just keep it simple, keep it hateful, and you can.
So I definitely think that you should go back to the you're gay because that was like also the point is like
I feel like
the point is like some you know toxically masculine guy, he's gonna take that as an insult. So it's like you're doing it to get under his skin. It's not so much that like
she
being
loves
gay is a bad thing or that you have a negative connotation to being gay. It's to it's gonna get under his skin because he's so insecure about his own sexuality. It's along those lines versus so I think that line needs to be restored. And also like that was like early 2000s people gay was an insult. That's just how it was.
when you say gay, do you realize what you say?
And
Hillary Duff.
Hillary Duff. And also who else did that?
That was Hillary Duff. Remember the
Yeah, but I thought it was a whole gay campaign.
not that I remember.
And then but the better than revenge thing is because that she just makes such a voice for she's going this route of like see again, I support the original lyrics and I support slut shaming. She has gone a different route with it where she doesn't support slut shaming. So she's kind of like has to clean up her previous narratives to make it match that because she wrote it as a kid where I was just kind of again that might have been the societal norms, but now as an adult she's like I don't accept these norms, so that's why she's changing it. So that song's kind of different. I've really come around to that song. I used to refuse to listen to that Taylor's version because she changed it, but now that I can accept the meaning behind it and appreciate her for who she is as a lyrical genius and just a real icon of the century. Speaking of pop stars, because I think we're done here.
I think we're almost done.
Well, we have about like 10 minutes. Okay.
I don't think we're almost done. I think we have also later that
Chapel Roan last week was on. I don't even know what the show was
it was The Outsiders.
with like these two people, and she was in her normal clown look, but like
I'm gonna dress like that from now on.
I thought you had already started.
Clip. Clip.
Where when Chapel Roan was on The Outsiders last week. Let's play the tape.
Hi, I'm Chapel Roan, and these are things that I think should be banned. Banned it. Okay. I ban hot takes. I don't want to see your hot take. I don't care. I just want to see fun things online. You don't know what you're talking about. I don't care if you are, hi, publicist here. I don't believe you, first of all. Also, if you're a publicist, get the fuck out of the comments and do your job. Second of all, I don't think you actually know anything about me at all. Second of all, pop crave, ban it.
So my reaction to this is, so she says she doesn't want to hear your hot takes. What do you say to this?
I say I don't want to hear anyone's hot takes either.
And we're out of a job. You don't have to hear it. People could share their takes. You don't have to listen to it. Well, I have a take and I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it right now. Chaperone, you make it really hard to stan you. I will always stan you because you are the 2024 gay icon of the summer. But guess what? It's not 2024 anymore. It's 2025. There's a new sheriff in town. And guess what?
It's Kylie Minogue again.
No, it's me, bitch.
Oh.
You're not the only one with a hot take. You're not special, bitch. No one wants to hear. If we have to be subjected to your hot takes, then you have to hear our hot takes. What was, oh, all mothers are miserable? What would you call that, Chaperone? A hot take? So why don't you sit down for once and listen?
First of all, how dare you?
That's all I have to say about that.
First of all, how dare you? Second of all, she's allowed to have
It's just so obnoxious to always have opinions and then sit there and say, I don't want to hear you speak. I'm Suka. It's not me. Literally you. Not me. I don't ever tell people to not speak. You tell me not to speak like all the time. Are you fucking... That's not true.
that is true.
No, I rebuke that. I don't tell you to not speak. I just clip it. Exactly. Constantly cutting my jokes. Constantly cutting when I am funny and when I'm like last episode, he cut something. He was, that hurt my feelings. It hurt, and it was really funny.
And you guys didn't hear it. It got cut.
I might just cut this again. So that's all I had to say about that.
Okay, this was perfect for my next segment called Leave Them Alone. A segment where I defend usually a female artist.
It's gonna be exclusively female artists, unless I have a really funny idea. Okay, sorry.
Who gets unnecessary hate. And this week it is Chaperone, of
I
course.
have a really good idea
And
for next week's episode.
great. And this week it is Chaperone and Megan Thee Stallion. And I'm gonna start with Chaperone.
Well, first of all, I stand Megan Thee Stallion, and
as we can see, Chaperone gets a lot of hate that she doesn't deserve simply because she's open-minded.
deserved. If
and
you're gonna,
her opinion.
well, if you're gonna
and
speak
I'm
it out, you're gonna
speaking.
get. If you're gonna speak it out, you're gonna get a rebuttal. She's rebuttal. So lay down and take it. Why does she? I don't like it when people go and they're like, when they're like responding to something, they're just like, just shut up as a response.
That's you.
That's not me. That's literally not. If you're putting something out there on the internet and someone leaves a nasty comment or like a different person is making comments in the press, whatever, you don't like it, just don't respond to it. Or if you are going to respond to it substantively. Don't just say, well, just shut up because no one cares. That's not a real response because people could say that to you in the first place and people are saying that to you in the first place. But I would have never said that to you until you said it.
I think a lot of her hot takes, quote unquote, get taken out of context. I think that she gets a lot of undeserved hate. I think she's allowed to have opinions. People are allowed to have opinions. She's allowed to not want to hear people's opinions. People are allowed to not want to hear her opinions. And I think the world of social media is like everyone thinks their opinion matters. Everyone thinks their opinion needs to be heard. Opinions are like assholes. We all have them, and no one wants to see them. I added that last part on.
No one wants this. Well, that's not 100%.
It's true for me.
But not everyone wants to hear your opinion yet. If you're gonna get out there and put out your opinion, then you have to accept the fact you're gonna hear other people's opinions. That's my opinion.
She can accept that she'll hear it.
But she's not accepting
She
it.
could say that she doesn't want to hear it. How is that not acknowledging that?
Because
she will.
the whole point of the segment was she's banning hot takes. Not just that she doesn't want to hear it. She bans them. She wants them to not exist anymore. That's the point. It wasn't like, oh, they're just not for me. It's like, I'm banning them from existence. No one should have one anymore. Because that is where I draw the line.
I didn't see her say that.
We just watched the clip. To Megan, because I'm done with Chapel for today.
I love Chapel and I'll never be.
I love
Fan
Chapel
her.
too.
It doesn't sound like
I'm
it.
really
Are you a real fan or are you a fake fan?
can't. Can't quote him.
You're not a pink pony girl.
How dare you? How dare you? Amazon has announced that they're going to be giving out refunds going back to 2018.
Yeah, so there is a bunch of returns that if you return your item, like Amazon never refunded you for the item, even though they said they would. And I have a gripe with Amazon over
How
this.
could you ever let that get away with that? Pushovers. You don't call your bank and say cancel this charge?
I have a story to tell.
It's just like it sounds like you're the chump that got played.
And I just would like to formally shout out Amazon and be like, where the fuck is my $75 downfall?
It is shameful. You're like $1 trillion company and you're stealing from the poor to give to the rich. And I just want you to
Exactly.
think about that. And as we think about that, I also have a gripe with Amazon, and that is the Amazon app. It's totally unfunctional.
It is.
And they keep updating it, and it gets worse as they update it. And I just want to be able to open the app, click on my order, and see where the fuck my order's at. I shouldn't have to go through 5 loops just to get to where
No,
the last
literally.
item I ordered. And then you get to it, and then it's like reviewing the items page, but it's like, no, I want to see where I ordered. It's just a headache.
And I'm sick of going on Amazon and I look at one thing, I don't even purchase it or even add it to my cart. I'm just looking at it. And then every recommendation is like a similar item to this. And it's like, if I wanted it, I would have bought it or would have added it to my cart. I clearly don't want this. Stop recommending it to me.
But this is really important, and I really want to say this because last night, as you all know, was the American Music Awards. And as you all know,
Chapel looked amazing.
I wasn't impressed. But you know who did look amazing? Our winner,
Stallion.
Our winner, Taylor Swift. And you know what else is amazing? Is last night, Taylor Swift finally announced Reputation, Taylor's version. It's coming. And I just want to take a moment to say, it's been there all along. The Easter eggs were there. We just weren't seeing them. But it's coming, and I'm just really excited. And so now, Timmy, I want to ask, what song are you most excited to hear on the re-record?
Okay, this is my favorite Taylor Swift song of all time is "Look What You Made Me Do."
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that one, and I also love "Out of the Woods," but we already have that.
That's 1989.
I know. I love "Look What You Made Me Do." I love "I Did Something Bad."
The burning
Zoe,
all the riches, even if you aren't one.
She doesn't sing it like that.
Fake does. Not fake fan.
She does.
Fake fan.
They're
fake
burning
fan.
all the
Fake fan.
witches, even
Fake fan.
if you aren't
Fake
one.
fan. They're burning all the
It's not like
witches,
that.
even if you aren't one.
She doesn't sing it like that.
They got pitchforks and proof.
She doesn't sing it like that.
Reputation Stadium Tour 20, what year was that? 2018?
You didn't even go to that.
But that's how she sings, and I watched the show, the movie.
It just felt so good. They're burning all the witches, even if you aren't one. They got their pitchforks.
Fake fan, fake fan.
I am not a Swiftie. I just
Fake fan.
is that all?
Yeah, so I'm really excited. It finally announced. I'm really looking forward to it. It coming out. And I just wanted to get to that first because it just happened. Now we're moving on to America's favorite segment of Twinfluenced, and that is Love It or Hate It. So to start on Love It or Hate It today, our first Love It or Hate It, when companies advertise swag, but then it's just a fucking water bottle or a fucking pen or a fucking notebook, and it's like, I don't want this shit. Give me a t-shirt or a hoodie. Don't give me a damn pen. Love it or hate it.
I actually love it. I actually would rather have something like a knick-knack than like a t-shirt. I don't like to wear. I'm very particular about how I dress. I wear very basic stuff.
We see that.
And I would rather have like a knick-knack or like a notebook or something. I'll get more use out of it.
I hate it. I want a hoodie. I want a t-shirt. I'll take a notebook. I love a notebook. But I want something to wear, something that's important to me, which is clothes.
See, clothes just aren't important to me, and I'm sure everyone could tell.
We can.
Love it or hate it, pimple patches.
I don't think they work, so I'm gonna say hate them.
I hate them too. I don't think they work either. And I think you're just telling the world that you have a pimple.
Well, I think you should just wear it at night, right?
But there are people who wear it like in the day and they go out of their house.
People who make TikToks with them on.
Yeah, with stars on their faces.
Well, I hate them.
Yeah, I hate them too.
Okay. Love it or hate it, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Love it.
Love her.
I love Gwyneth.
I love Gwyneth Paltrow too, and I feel like she is something that I wouldn't love, that I would hate. But I don't know if I'm just biased because she's, a tall, beautiful, blonde woman like me, but I just love Gwyneth Paltrow.
I love Gwyneth. I think that whole skiing thing that happened,
Hilarious, iconic.
I think she's so unintentional.
And then the one, I wish you well.
No, literally.
I like her.
I like her
I
too.
look past her. And you can excuse all her flaws for nepotism because nepo babies just don't know how to function in public.
Yeah. I don't come prepared.
Love her. Okay, move. Oh, this is a really, really good one. And I am prepared. Love it or hate it, the gay guy that's obsessed with Bethany Frankel on TikTok.
I kind of love it.
I hate it. Do you want to say? I have a lot to say about this, so go ahead first if you have more to say.
I just think it's funny, and I think that someone should humble her. And I think that she does a lot of bizarre stuff, and it should be called out. And he's literally just documenting what she does. And it's like, if it sounds crazy, it's because it is crazy.
I think it's ironic that you're dedicating your channel focusing on how out of touch or the manic episodes of Bethany Frankel, and you're emphasizing how out of touch she is and how psycho she is, and you're making that your personality, and you're keeping her name in your mouth to keep yourself relevant. And then you get on there and you're upset that she blocked you, and it's because you're making yourself relevant with her name, because you're a lame duck with no fucking life, and you're just a fucking loser. And to that I say, get a life. Make your own name. Hashtag let her be. Hashtag be strong.
I think she can handle it.
It's just like, I don't want to see it. No one cares what. I can
Block him.
Bethany. I don't need to block him.
Sounds like you do.
I need I'm talking to him to his face to tell him that I think that your videos make you look sad and miserable, and they don't have the impact that I think in the long term that you think they'll have. it makes you look unwell. It makes you look psycho because you hyper focus on a woman who doesn't give a fuck about you because she's $100 million in fucking money.
But she does care because she's commented on his videos and she blocked him.
I think it gets annoying when people are using your name constantly to give themselves clout.
Okay, sure, but she does that too. To every housewife. Doesn't Jill Zarin?
She platformed Jill Zarin. Are you kidding? Jill Zarin was so thirsty to be on there. We've swapped perspectives of this now that it's convenient for you, clearly.
What do you mean? Remember our first episode?
No.
You said Jill Zarin is a sweet old lady, and I said she's thirsty. I think I cut all of that because you told me to cut the housewives. Okay, love it or hate it, the Donkey Kong redesign.
Didn't even see the redesign. I don't know.
Whatever.
We'll put a clip right here. The redesign. Dude, don't worry. It's not like this is a podcast where people are listening to hear what we have to say. Just take your time.
Let me pull up the worst shot of it. Okay, this is him and Diddy.
P. Diddy?
No. Scandalizing picture surface of Donkey Kong and P. Diddy.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you could see up on the screen what Donkey Kong used to look like and now what he looks like now. And you can let us know at twins@twinfluence.net what do you think about the design change. For the listening audience, he's got like round. He kind of's got like a Timmy face with
What the fuck? It's got Timmy face and an Alex stomach.
Yeah, he got a big chest and tiny waist.
No, he's got a huge stomach.
I don't see a stomach in this photo.
Go back.
That was the movie, I think.
No, that's the game.
Oh,
The game now.
he does have a giant stomach. So for the listening audience, the old picture was, he had the red tie and he had like regular short-haired fur, and he's got a tiny waist and a big chest. But now he looked like he just got out of bed. He's all fluffed up, and he's gained like 300 pounds. He's got moobs now. He doesn't have strong chest. He's got saggy boobs, and he's got a big fat belly, and he looks like he hasn't slept in days. I hate that.
To hate it. I used to hate it and now I love it. Because he looks more expressive and he's kind of cute now.
I don't love it.
You don't love it?
No,
You hate it?
All right. For our final love it or hate it of this episode, love it or hate it, DJX on Spotify.
I don't use it, so I'll say hate it.
I love it. This is really the dominant way I listen to music. I open up my Spotify, I click DJX, and I let him play. He knows the songs I like. And now they just added the new feature where you can request songs. You tell him what you want to listen to, and he plays it. And I love it.
I just listen to that on repeat.
All right, so that's love it or hate it. Thank you, Timmy, for that. Perfect. All right, I think that's all we have for today.
Follow us on. Thank you so much for tuning into Twinfluenced. I'm Alex, your host, here with my co-host and twin, Timo. Follow us everywhere you get your podcasts. Leave us 5 stars. Let us know how we're doing by leaving us 5 stars. And write to us at twins@twinfluence.net. If you have a moral dilemma, write in at moraldilemma@twinfluence.net and we will solve it here on the show, just like we just solved it. Follow us at TikTok.
on TikTok at TwinFluencePod. Follow me on TikTok at Alex James Miller. Follow us on YouTube. Our videos are now up on YouTube at Twinfluenced. And
Email us at twin.
I already
at
said that.
Okay, never mind then.
All right, that's all. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.